Greetings. We are a timeline consciousness. We are downloaded into constantly. Realize many want to do things for yourselves. We're actually very connected to the Arcturian consciousness of allowing growth to occur. Of course, we're connected to other beings, but our foundations is Arcturian. Think of like your timeline as a highway, and you build your highway. You have a turn here, a turn there, a building there. You're actually building a city in your own energy. And like the store that you go to, for example, you build the timelines within that. I know some may have difficulty maybe seeing all this, but you're building your own world in yourself. You connected to others. This is why you're not always seeing the same thing as other people are seeing. I mean, you're connecting to others, but you're still living in your own reality. Well, you might see a plane stopped in the sky, where others don't. Others see it because they joined in to what you're about to see astrally. They see it and you agree upon it. Of course, you agree upon these things earlier also, but that's not always the case. You not always agree upon these things. So the war, yes, is agendas, as you know. The consciousness of humanity wants sometimes out of their situation. So they call in reptilians or other beings to cause ruckus, to break you free from the chains of an old idea, such as driving in cars. Wouldn't you rather a flying car? Of course, we understand there's a lot more to it than that, but you ask these alien beings, and they're not always aware that you're even doing it. They just know, just like you know where to go. They just know they need to come here to either open your earth, heal it, change it. We're talking about all your alien beings. They're all involved, yes, Venus, Mars, Pluto. It's all involved here. Your planets here involve your timeline creation also, but your Arcturians built the road, part of the road, most of the road. And the other planets are within it. So they all show up as symbols. Even an alien race can show as a symbol. The reason we bring out the reptilians is they're known to break timelines. They bring their fury, bring their axe, their whatever it might be. They bring their ego. And it's a whole movie within yourselves. Each one of you are living an individual movie because you're seeing it differently. So some of you find what weighs in to other timelines with other people. Say, yeah, your timeline. What is your timeline yourself? So are you protecting? This is why you protect your energy field, so others can't interfere with your timeline. Some might try. Some might really try to break through you. This is why you are your own universe, which is a little bit much to see. But even the universe, all the planets are all designed, set up in just the way that you see it. It's like you might see this world as a flat Earth world for various reasons. For many, a flat Earth world is paradise. For others, it's hell. So I told you how many different planets there are, versions of Earth. There's so many. There's no words. There's no numbers to count. No words to describe it. So as you put together your existence here, you're connecting to each other in unison. I mean, yes, it gets very complicated. It is. I mean, this is why so many beings are attracted to this planet. It's just the way it's designed. It might be seen as hell, but it's all exhilarating at the same time. It might be vicious. Of course it's going to be, especially when you're going through a major timeline change, like a war. You're shifting the Earth's consciousness, human consciousness, to another level. And wars never happen quickly or it takes a while. And there's build up towards it. It's just, and this is like the silent war you're going through currently. When it's necessary, yes, a lot of skirmishes. Basically, countries are maturing, but also setting the trend for the rest of the world to find a more positive outlook. Because a lot of darkness, found in the United States from other countries. The United States is healing much of the world, even if it might not always seem that. China is doing its own healing, but the United States is doing a lot of maturing and growing up currently. As many beings that are tired of the European ways, but they came to the United States too, but they brought a lot of their karma with it too. So it's very complicated when you really get down to it. But it is, all these consciousnesses all connecting to each other. This giant web. So the heaven that you're bringing in is here. It's difficult to see. Those that are used to what worked to them, where they made riches and life's been just, abundant. But what is in their message? Is the message over? Because the messages you said your message. And now you see the end of it because your message has been said. Now it's to move on to other things. Many kind of keep holding on as long as they can. But that's the thing about when words are said. Just like any other time. This is nothing new, really. But just the messages can only last so long. You said the message, other people have said your same message in a different way. Now that energy is here. Now it's here to bring a new message. Basically, you can heal your enlightenment, your planet. Yes, the new earth vibrations, finding peace, heal. Of course, some have a weird definition of peace, as many of you know. War is peace, or something around those lines. We're healing that energy field of the old earth. The old earth does not go quietly. There's so much consciousness tapped into it. It's worked for them. But many of you say, no more fear mongering. Let's move on. Let's go to more what peace really does look like. And some aren't always big on that, what peace looks like. Not really. They say peace, but then they shoot off weapons to create peace. That's not how peace works. Not really. That's a war mentality piece. So you are in a time of rebirth where peace is really truly seen, but now you're seeing much of the lies of your earth, deceptions. Let it all get itself out there. So just be good to yourself. Yeah, just know your truth. Yeah, just know it. It's all just noise in the long run that's around you that you want anything, just noise. Stock market crashing and all that, which is, if it does, it's still just, it's noise. Knowing yourself is very difficult. Beings here do not want you to know yourself. As you become more connected to yourself, all this noise becomes quieter, quieter, quieter. The timeline war finally comes to an end. You have a timeline of peace, and you are moving towards that. It's just a lot of the old has to be cleared out. It's not going quietly. There are other ways for this to occur, but many are stuck in their ways. Well, they've done well in their lives, but old ideas have to retire. Many of you are not living in the Stone Age. It might seem that way sometimes. But even the Stone Age had to change. Like even the old cameras, you used film. They don't even use film anymore. Now you're using digital cameras. It's just a progression. Where the telepathic mind becomes more powerful, telekinesis eventually becomes stronger. But I feel like the telepathic mind is really where it all is. Telekinesis will occur. Maybe you're using telekinesis for time manifesting at this time. You're just using that manifesting energy for what's best for you, others, and just continue to bring that in. It's just those that are very dark right now. Many of you are giving them hugs, kisses. Depending on who it is. Thank you for bringing us to where we are. But now it's time for us to move forward. Yes, we can build a city with your mind and just change things. Just connect with nature, bring nature more to its true colors. Agartha, for that to be seen more clearly. As they're orchestrators of a lot of this. Wizards, elves, they're all here in secret, of course. So, what's this? Greetings to you. Realize your land masses. This is the energy of Mexico. If you're wondering. Your land masses on your planet are Akashic record energies, as many of you know. Akashic record vibrations. Of course, it's on different levels, but it's like an Akashic record landing point. Comes from you to the land, and you build upon it. So every state, every country, as you know, is designed in a certain way for it to receive, and you are the receiver. The ground receives it, but also you. Yes, the ground, the air, the ground, but a lot of it waits for building. And of course, you're always walking on the ground. I believe most of you do that, or it might be ride a bike, whatever. Overall, you are connected to the earth. Notice how your feet are down on the girth, for the most part, most of you. Or you'll find some way, even if you're sitting in a chair or laying in a bed, because some are having difficulties walking. So, those that are wheelchair bound, some of them are carrying around so much karma. Not always for themselves. They might be family karma. It might be karma for the country. It might be karma for the planet. So that's why many cannot move. There's different ways of looking about it. As many who do wish for healing, or you're not in a world where everybody looks the same. Yes, there are worlds like that, and many people probably find a little bit more positivity there to a certain degree, but then again, when everyone looks the same, what's the point of that? It all depends. Overall, now notice how your earth is usually, dirt colors, different colors of sands, things like that. Well, imagine those changing colors. You have a blue ground, a green sand, a orange, yellow. You already have that, but think about more of a lighter vibration. So, as humanity begins to shift, you're going to see changes in nature as it becomes more brighter. Now, you've already seen this over time. Not just your Antarctica breaking apart and flooding many continents to shift things around, because it's Akashic record knowledge coming in, basically what your world is allowing to come through. Much of Akashic record is also in your sea floor. Of course, the majority of your Akashic record knowledge is in your Earth's core. Notice, I believe it's a fire energy for the most part, a boiling lava vibration. It is human consciousness, and alien beings, of course, tap into the Akashic records of your Earth. Some can get actually sick from it. Some can actually advance themselves from it. It depends on the vibration. Even a sickness on an alien race can stir them into different directions, because you can go to a planet and get ill very easily. Of course, like you go to a country. So the way you travel to countries, and you can just look at that as like, isn't it like going to another world? So you have many worlds on one planet here. A lot of planets, it's the same everywhere. Like, you live in Canada. Canada is everywhere around the planet. Your world is different places, different languages. Now, you got different languages. It goes on and on. But as you realize how diverse your planet truly is, the Aztec Mayan knowledge, as a lot of them lost their knowledge here, but it is still in the energies of Mexico, Central America. As many of you are bringing that vibration back into the earth. So it all depends on what you are ready for. Now, it doesn't matter your diet. I know many are big on diets, but it doesn't really matter because you will do what's best for you to receive knowledge. Sometimes you need to eat a candy bar, do what you. Some people feel like you need to be a strict something. Obviously, you want to feel healthy, but everyone's version of healthy is a little bit different. Especially if you're trying to keep people away from you. Some that's why, yes, they carry a lot of weight, but also some of them carry a lot of Akashic record knowledge with that. It all depends, especially when you're dealing with a lot of stress. Because many people that are, yes, vastly overweight are actually, many of them are in the astral plane. It keeps them grounded here. It was a little bit complicated there, but yeah, many are working astrally quite a bit. They're not aware of it usually, but it's different. Normally, it's clearing out karma, and there's a lot of karma from your Earth's past that you're bringing into the forefront here. I know many say like, there's no time in all of this, but it's still part of your Earth's past due to the timeline set up. It might be happening now, but still part of your planet. So some of you might start seeing Julius Caesar and others that have been part of your planet. You might see them, those part of your history in your mind. It's like, why is Julius Caesar all of a sudden talking to me? Well, it's not time to heal that timeline. As it's been healed or healing, but as you evolve, you're letting go of the mind control from Rome, mind control from Egypt. It's like now you're ready to face what brought you where you are today. Like there's a lot of Pharaoh Egyptian manipulation on your planet. So you're going to start to see those things slowly. Many are way far from that at this time, but some of you can tap into those energies while you're doing healing already. You're healing the Earth's past, or healing the Earth in general if you don't want to look at it that way. So there's, yes, a timeline war going on, as there always has been, but things have sped up. Well, yes, because you're opening your Earth's core. You're bringing more Akashic record into the planet. Well, yes, we can build with your mind. But you can build many things with your mind. And you are now. It's yes, this planet, a prison planet, is a positive and a negative. As you know, if you've heard of people in jail, they become lawyers, some become doctors, some go through some dark things. Same as your planet. It's the same thing. Especially many are growing up here, went through abuse of some kind. It's just, it's not in a concealed building, it's out in the world. Many of you are fearful for your children. Same thing. It's the same battleground. So as Earth's going through a healing, basically you recognize where the problem comes from. That's where you can heal it. And many are not looking at that, but many of you are. Mass majority haven't quite seen it just that way, and that's okay. You don't have to be open up to spirituality and all of this instantly. There's no wrong, because there's a lot to take in, as many of you know. A lot of responsibility for it can be overwhelming, as many of you know. But you are going into a mass awakening, where when those that do not believe in any of this start to look at the world differently, at least look at it, and they start seeing Atlantis energies, you start seeing your past more clearly. Or you're seeing your origins, how you got here. Anunnaki, Atlantis, Homerian, and on. It's like you're opening up a closet or the attic and so forth, the basement. It's like, look at all these lost treasures within ourselves. That's what you're doing right now. Blessings to you. Blessings. Reptilian agenda. All right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Palladians. Yes, I believe you're thinking reptilians would show up, but they will eventually. Reptilian beings, yes, they don't have to believe many species are very powerful. Even no matter what they do to themselves, reptilians are also known to ruin themselves, destroy themselves at the cost of others. Basically, they feel like they found the weakness in humanity, not just on your world, but other planets. So they're exploiting it, as you can see. So reptilians are also known to destroy themselves, but also to change for the better, as what is happening now. Yes, the world might seem like it's getting worse. It all depends on how you look at it. But it's also you are unlocking your earth. You're shutting down the old vibrations, as you see. Many voices are no longer being heard. So you see, after the storm, who is still being heard? So, yes, you know it's difficult, but your world has been developed to be a militarized planet, as you can see. And that it brought out a lot of darkness out of other planets, other realities. And this is more of the harder Earths of your versions of Earth. There are many versions of Earth, but this is one of the harder ones, as you know, because many of you wish you can do much more with yourselves, be able to travel more, be able to feel like you're more alive instead of getting up and going, doing the same thing constantly, and seeing other people feel like they're more, they have more of a life than you. So there's a lot of things going on around you, as you can see. So you are bringing in more of a fourth dimensional vibration, fifth dimension, of course, but also a fourth dimension of basically seeing the unseen. So reptilian beings, well, let's put it this way. During your Atlantis vibration, open the door for other beings to come through, to come here. But as they were here, you learned their darkness. And that darkness was slowly explored. And a lot of beings were actually healed by being here. But it wasn't healing all of it. There's still a lot of darkness. So to explore that darkness was to become it. And that is what your world is experiencing. Let's put it this way. There's darkness in the universe that has to be explored, and this world is doing it. It's advancing many of you. It's very difficult. You might not agree with everyone. You might, despair, all these energies. We can quite understand. There's nothing wrong with any of these things. Well, as long as you find, we realize you have to vent out a lot for you to survive. There's a lot here they're not seeing. And there's much more happening here, especially those of you that are here to change the environment. Obviously, there are beings here that are not making it easier. And sometimes it's a blessing not to see these things. Many want their third eye open, and they want to see all these beings, but when you're under attack on a daily basis, do you necessarily feel like you need to see everything? Now, some will say, yeah, let me see it all. But when you're already under the pressure of them not wanting you here, and then I believe you understand, and then you get to see them. You already feel them. Feeling them is just enough. There will be a time when you see them, hear them. Humanity right now is not unlocking itself for the earth to heal. As you know, it is slowly doing it, but not recognizing that there's more going on than what you are seeing. So many of you maybe you came here to, to be where you are right now, of course. Meaning that because the human consciousness made this decision, you're going through what you're going through to help it, even if you don't like all the details of it. Maybe you want to see more. You're doing what humanity can handle. So if you can start seeing them more, if you start seeing them more, others start seeing them more. and many are not ready to see them more. See more of what's hidden. We are bringing that vibration through of a healing energy. Things are changing, just humans are not ready to change overall. You'd be surprised how, I believe some of you already know, how many are stuck in their old ways, holding on to it for dear life. There's nothing wrong with that. But, you can do that for 10,000 years. A world can only, there are places where that exists. This world needs to change because of the way it was designed. So it just has, many that live a positive life live the same life, not entirely exactly the same. Some do. Some want to change it up, do many different things, but many do like doing the same thing over and over again. You have a little bit of everything here. And you're here to, this world isn't here to be that. If that was the case, you'd be going up getting to do your job forever. I don't think many want that. So that's why you're having the changes here. As you know, through every era, it's kind of a smackdown on your planet. So the reptilian vibrations brought darkness to you, and now you're exploring it. But you're also bringing a new enlightenment, as many of you know. So hopefully some of this was helpful, but it's basically for you to understand how reptilian beings truly are. Look right inside their souls, and some of them might even start making an appearance. A lot of them don't like showing themselves or making themselves known, just like many of you. They don't like putting themselves out there. So, blessings to you. Greetings to you. We are the bird people. A bird energy is for you to discover more of yourself in a way. Many are, yes, childish, like many of you are in your world, but many are singers. We all have our different vibrations, of course, with wings. Not all birds have wings, though. They can still fly. Yes, they have ways of hiding their arms, or we'll just leave you to your imagination on that. The bird, there's many aspects of it. Many are, yes, controllers, but also those are giving birth to society. The animal kingdom, the building of the bird, was to elevate the soul in a way where it was unusual to, yes, your land dwellers. Of course, your fish beings, as a bird and the fish, yes, we don't always get along with each other. Can you imagine sky people and ocean people having it out with each other? And your world has problems, and you do have those problems. Many of you do not have the way of breathing underwater, but there was a time when that was normal. And another part of why your world had the war it did in its past. Well, Marian beings, some are turned against each other. A lot of Atlantean beings had the ability to breathe underwater and decided to live underwater, under the sea, as they call it. The myth of Atlantis being underwater. Well, many of them just lived there. They found a way to adapt, but many of them did have problems with land dwellers, and even those bird beings in the skies. So, understanding these different sides of yourselves, understand the conflict here. Some are feeling of being human is being so difficult because you can't do the things that you're used to remembering, such as flying, such as living under the sea, such as being invisible, going through shifting to different dimensions. You're here in the physical. I wouldn't call it ignoring these sides of yourself, but how to discover who you are is see yourself as an ocean being, a sky being that flies, allowing that part of you to unlock. Many humans, this is well, I thought somebody are connected to your matrix realm in the depression state is they find all these things entertaining of flying beings, bulletproof people, and all of that, but they shut it down within themselves. But they're not allowing that to happen within them. And not that you're going to be flying or being bulletproof instantly, but allowing that energy of maybe I was like that in one lifetime, and allowing that side of you to start unlocking. And when that occurs, many things are going to start unlocking within yourselves. And that's when you have a different world altogether. You're doing archaeology on society currently, on Egypt, but going within the self is very difficult. It's not, it takes time. You're doing that already to a certain extent, but when you start saying, yes, I'm a bird being, and actually allow that bird persona to be seen. Now, many souls that are very immature, they have not quite always been tested heavily. There's different types of tests. There's tests when you take major risks. You become a general of an army. Yes, there's a loss of life there, but you take responsibility for it. And some generals have themselves sacrificed because of it for various reasons. That's not always the case. It's like, do you put yourself in harm's way to make a difference? Doesn't mean that everyone has to do that, but that's where a lot of souls truly grow. It's not that you're putting yourselves in harm's way, but you're taking more risks than your average soul, and that really matures the soul quickly. When it ends in death, usually it depends on what it is. Some of you really want to make a change, and obviously there's smart ways of going about it where some just want to cause trouble, end up in jail, and doesn't really get you anywhere. It can cause growth, but is that really the growth you want? Because some are just troublemakers and so on. But overall, many of it's like how does the soul grow? So you do it through books, through knowledge, but through imagination, allowing this true self to unlock. Many of you are time travelers. You find time traveling very fascinating. Some of you are part of the secret space program because you find out being space defending your Earth has had multiple lifetimes of doing these things, for better or for worse. And obviously, many go through disease in their lives. Sometimes it has to do with self-love. It's different reasons behind it. But a lot of disease has to do with self-love. It really does. It all depends. It's like sometimes it's karma because you're angry from decisions you made in your past, and you feel like you need to pay for it. It's different reasons. Usually, disease is some form of growth through. Some of you avoid diseases for multiple. Obviously, you had like colds and things like that, but nothing like the disease that's with you throughout your whole life. So you find different types of diseases called people, family, and other means. So as a bird collective, we're here to let you see further into yourselves, into your soul, who you are. Because many, yes, know how it is to fly. Not all have wings, but many of you do. It's just nothing like flying through the sky and just feeling free. And in this world, that part of you is opening up even more because there's been so much restraint here. Yes, many of you have been fairy beings. There's nothing like having best of all worlds of being human, but also be able to fly. Having wings is, for many, is fun. It's seductive. It's just like showing. It's for some that feels like that's the top of their game. Especially when you are a carrion being, it feels as if beings are. It's like they're granted wings to be above other species. Obviously, that's not true, but some believe that. And you live it in your world today. People here that like to fly, who have planes and all that, obviously they've been birds in previous lifetimes. Now, if you're like flying a plane all the time, like a plane taxi, basically it's like a flying taxi, basically. They've done this in other lifetimes. Part of that's giving back to society. And they've been in flying cars in previous lives, so they go for the first thing that flies, and it's a plane. So flying is just liberating, releasing low vibrations, and just allowing yourself to be free, as many of you know. And that energy will come back more into your reality, meaning that doesn't mean people are going to start flying instantly, but their memories of World War II memories, that's more the prominent one. Many actually had a great time during that time. I mean, at least in a plane, maybe not always, especially when they crashed. But they had an adrenaline rush during that time. And this adrenaline rush is very different, as you can see. Well, now it's a war of the mind. And this is the most difficult, but also liberating. Yes, it's a different war. The war of the mind is the hardest war ever. As you want to have weapons and artillery, and that's great. But war of the mind is how you're going to unlock this planet. Greetings to you. Of course, there are beings here on your planet that aren't aware of the moon energies. As the moon is, daily life is what matters most. A lot of that is Anunnaki programming. Well, basically, how to be human on a world like this. You are living an Anunnaki experience here. You've connected to Pleiadians and Sirians, but Anunnaki found how to lower a planet's vibration and how to actually sustain it. Not all beings are capable of that. I mean, there's Pleiadian beings to a certain extent, but normally the worlds are out of more fourth-dimensional energy. Of course, there are third-dimensional worlds. But Anunnaki played a big role. They just knew how this worked. As they have known, and even the Greys also. That's why they're so prominent here. Of course, you might not see Anunnaki beings, but some of you are tapping into their vibrations. It's just, when you've been around a lot to all these different star systems, experienced pretty much everything, for good or bad. If you're an alien being visiting a planet that's third dimension, get shot down, your life is either very long or ends up cut very short. It's like, at least I found a third dimensional world, while others are having difficulties finding one. So this Earth is going into a vibration, yes, that's very indifferent than the other worlds, of course, because you're helping them achieve perfection as you achieve it yourselves. You're helping them move into actually a higher vibration as you are doing yourselves, of course. But in doing so, basically, souls here, obviously not, beings here don't always like each other. Doesn't mean you always have to, but you brought such a diverse vibration here. That's another reason why Ascension's taken so long here, is because nobody's really getting along with each other. Well, many do, but not everyone. On other worlds, beings usually find a way to get to work with each other, get along with each other in some form or another. So that's another reason why Ascension has not been exactly as you'd like it to be, because trust has been a major issue here. Just beings that just don't like each other overall. It is one thing having difficulty with your spirit friends, but having difficulties with those around you, especially your family energies. Now, what's interesting, though, is that many of the lower vibrations of this earth, negative families, which is interesting how they might not like each other, but they do connect with each other and cause a lower vibrational rift around the earth and shut the earth down. So astrally, they're bringing the earth's vibration down, even if they're not hanging out with each other, going to dinner and all that. They agreed upon the holidays, the mentality, but it has a lot to do with the holidays, because the holidays do control the mind. I know it sounds a little bit strange, but it's just it's one form of control. We'll just use the holidays for example. They interconnect. And the calendar has a lot to do with that also. I mean, there's agreements here. You're agreed upon the calendar days, the months, time, and the holidays play. When you look at a calendar and see a holiday there, it all interconnects. The calendar itself, yes, has to be dismantled, Think about this. If you removed the month of February, for example, what would that do to your world? Because first of all, it'll make things go faster. All of a sudden, many of you are younger. I mean, instead of going through a year, you go through 11 months. Of course, age is up to you. You define your age. It just, when you start removing months and then time on your clock, maybe you don't go to 12, maybe just go to 10 o'clock. 10 o'clock is now the new midnight. That would cause a lot of change, wouldn't it? And little by little, you start removing these control mechanisms of your Earth. Maybe you just have a January as your month and have to go through that cycle. Someone just like a year, as soon as a month is over, we're all a year older now. Just like that. That would be a crowded month for birthdays, that's for sure. But that's what we see your Earth going into in your future state. Maybe not exactly like that. But eventually, many will not look at it. You're going to have generations already going rebelling against society. Eventually, the generations going against your calendar year and your time. And that's when things start to really speed up and shift. Greece, you are the 10th dimension. We feel many of you are going to heal laziness and connect more to your mind. As where the body begins to evaporate, well, it's no longer physical. It is where the mind is allowed to think more of a higher vibrational frequency. Where the third dimension, yes, is still with you, but you can blend through it easier. Is what we see on your reality. As for when, is up to you. Obviously, it's not going to be something that's fast, that's going to happen instantly. But basically, some of you are already feeling, well, you can do everything with your mind. You can also practice with your mind. Allow your mind to just travel. Astral travel is actually quite easy. Obviously, you don't want to do it while you're driving. Or, yes, having a machinery that you're working on or anything like that. But just letting your mind move anywhere it wishes to go. Mars. What is your version of Mars? Well, our version, or this version currently, there are different versions. There's a version where it's just rock. Just a rock. Just a big rock. Yes, there's government programs around. In the other dimensions, there's underground bases, yes. Hidden with good reason. There's a lot of ancient artifacts of Mars there that have actually Earth energies connected to it. Even American information there, because a lot of Americans were there in the past. Through your secret space, however you want to look at it. But in your travels, well, first off, another thing about Mars is the bird. I don't believe anyone's ever, well, it's not spoken about often of bird people there. Well, actually, it is, depending on who you're talking to, yes. As they're usually the more predominant species there. Now, there's blue avians, but there's others like Karen races and so on. There's the Martian bird beings that have been created through Mars through different elements. Even some Martians created their own version of the pelican. The pelican bird can be sometimes very beautiful and kind and sometimes very ruthless. An army type of pelican. I know that might sound a little bit strange for some of you right now. It's another thing to look at things a little bit differently. As you're healing your Earth's vibration by knowing more about your outside world. Now, many that connect to the secret space program connect to drama easily. The idea is to have a healing vibration, like Mother Mary out in the secret space program, but as a caring, loving vibration. So to unlock your human self here, So while not necessarily for a religious connection, but for a spiritual connection, that you're an infinite being. And connected to Mars, Jupiter, Venus. Venus is a place where souls go to heal. Of course, they go to all planets, but Venus is a healing center for many souls. It's also a place where they get a lot of knowledge for a third dimensional experience. Normally, Venus is in the fourth dimension, but it can be in different dimensions, of course, but normally it's a fourth dimension vibration that's assisting Earth in your current environment. Your Saturn has a lot of data of how to confuse a planet, how to make it harder, how to make it difficult, and how to arouse your higher self, meaning to raise your vibration. Now, there's different ways of raising your vibration. You can just do it through challenges. It's like some feel like, oh, I need to raise my vibration, so I'm at the fourth and fifth dimension, etc. Or more positive. But another form of raising vibration is challenges. Is soul growth. Is truly putting yourself through a nightmare to achieve greatness. And many of you went through Saturn to come here. Many Saturn beings here are in the military, and many of them are magicians. Saturn allows quite a few things. If you want to come here, assist a planet, a lot of times you have to go through a lot of aggravation to bring that assistance here. They're not going to make it easy. It's kind of like a medic going to a war zone to connect with others. Realize this world is under a treaty, as you might have an idea, sanctioned off from the rest of the universe. So you incarnate here to go through this hell, but also to bring enlightenment, to keep going, to keep fighting, you can say. Sharing your words, sharing your ideas. There's more going out there. Maybe not everyone will agree. Some spiritual groups want to hold people here, and many of you want to break free. And breaking free is not easy because this is a spiritual war that's going on right now. Blessings. Blessings. Greetings to you. I am a Silver from Spirit. Greetings. You are unlocking your Earth's energy, bringing manifestation energies. Realize many of you that are a channeling vessel. Not everybody wants to hear the truth of your reality. Because humans, reason why we're laughing because it's true. Many say they want the truth. Now, many of you are actually honest about it. Others say, I want the truth, but I'd rather have the watered down version of it. Or maybe just a hint. Or maybe just an echo. How about a word? How about not anything? How about just say it's the truth and not tell me any of it? So this is how you get more into your extraterrestrial Akashic record knowledge. Not necessarily always knowing about these beings. Well, is your satellite dish, as you are satellite beings, because you can channel vibrations, as that unlocks itself. And you connect not just the Akashic records, but the beings that are here. We technically merge with them, meaning that you're more like connecting with them. Merging might not be the best word for it. But you're realizing they exist. You see their civilizations, you see what they watch on TV at night, and some do watch TV. And then maybe not yours. But you see their humor, you see their laughter, you see what they have problems with. You connect to a whole other civilization. Now that could be overwhelming. Obviously that hasn't happened on a global scale, but you are going into a phase of basically knowing more about yourself. It's time to unlock the human and let yourselves be free. It's a time basically for you to, free yourselves of old ideas and allow the music to continue and run through you. So you see many of you advancing yourselves in the coming years of spiritual advancement, crystal vibrations, basically feeling less negative around yourselves. Now you might feel aggravation from some of these alien beings, not just it's just being them isn't easy either. We usually say aggravation, just like normal selves. As you feel your own, it's they have to find a way to where you can relate to each other. They're not perfect, and that's what you're here to understand. When you feel their imperfections, maybe this whole alien thing isn't so scary after all. Because as you tap into your own human consciousness, you feel like once humans realize how powerful they truly are, some can get very arrogant here, as you've already experienced it. But they're headstrong, there's this and that going on with humans, and there's nothing wrong with any of those things. It just makes things a little bit difficult. It builds a fence between you and the universe. As you connect to the universe, meaning that why we are saying you feel the aliens and their problem is because so you can relate to them. Instead of thinking they're higher dimensional beings, which they are beings in a higher dimension, but does not make them better than you or you better than them. It's family reconnecting to each other. And yes, to send you a kiss, to send you energies of healing, and allow that doorway of pain in your reality to finally set itself free. Now you'll see over time those villains on your planet, those that played a dark role on your Earth, all had a purpose. Now you're probably already seeing it now. So those, we're not going to go into detail of who, not just in personal life, but like global. You'll see why that all had a purpose and how much that needs to be healed. Instead of seeing it as a villain, you'll see it as a friend. Now, some of you might have family members that won't be friends with, we acquire CNY, or friends, etc. But those that cause a lot of harm to humanity, we feel like many of you are going to see it in a new light and heal that vibration. And not feel like you're better, but actually see the journey, why they did what they had to do for your Earth's ascension energies. Heal the war within the mind, belief systems, allow your souls to reconnect and to know more about yourselves and a new energy, and just letting go of the fear of your old realities. Now is the time to know more about yourselves in such a way I've not seen before. Yes, it's a new age, quite a different one. Greetings to you. This is Reginald from Spirit. Your Atlantean years are years of soul development that wasn't. You can almost say Atlanteans, failed, but they did accomplish what they're here to accomplish. But they're also here to break apart. It's like taking a glass, a beautiful glass, and breaking it, how the pieces shatter across the world to create new things. As it accomplished, you can say it got stuck in its creativity. It was no longer the vibration it was in its beginnings. It was around for quite some time. Now, as you go into more of a development, we believe many of you will feel like the idea of time no longer exists. So we'll say like it was 10 years, it was 25 years, things like that. And yes, Atlantis, you can say it was around 10,000 years. It was around for quite some time. But in that time, yes, it developed a great amount, but they also found a flaw in their own creation. Meaning now's the time to break up, fall apart, go into more of the Earth's vibrations. Or many Atlanteans became light workers, many became dark. Dark ones, as you know, controlled society, even through the Egyptians. So Egypt is interesting, as yes, Babylon was actually during the time of Atlantis also, and yes, parts of Greece. So as you go more into a soul development, you'll find that Egypt is basically kind of like king of your world. But look at what Egypt's connected to, your Africa. Africa is going to become more well-known of your time frame of basically Africa is like a Akashic record. Of course, your whole planet is like Akashic record energy, but you can say, obviously, you can go by your own opinion. But in this channeling, we're going to say Africa plays a big role. It's like your center stage of your Akashic record. And it's like, it's the center of it. And look at all the things that come out of it. A lot of it went to the Middle East as the human is being developed, because it's being developed across your planet. Obviously, it's not always made clear of actually how your human went to the development stage. There's always going to be a mystery of that, because they don't always want to allow that to come through just yet. I'm just still warning about who you are, unmasking yourself. Basically, what you're now doing is understanding the energy, what you're capable of, and some of the entities here that are causing you difficulties and blockages are kind of slowing down your progress to a slight degree. And some, as you go into more of a higher vibrational understanding, you realize, yes, there's many spirit beings that are kind of, yes, arrogant. And some are not perfect. I believe some of you already ran into this already, but you're going to see more of it as you continue on. There's diversity of beings, basically, because that's when your spirit world begins to merge with your earth. Well, it becomes more clear. You're going to, yes, as any type of fantasy, such as relationship, you can put anything on a pedestal, and then after a while you realize, like, it's not what it's advertised as. So, another reason why religion looked at spirit as a perfect place is to help for humans to feel like they're not worthy of their existence, not worthy of spirit. If you go into spirit, you become, some feel like they become arrogant. It's all different with all beings. It was to block you from spirit. It's to make you feel low that you're here. There's paradise over there, and hell is here. So it's a major mind control, as you can see. But you're in the development of healing that energy to connect more to who you are and to go forward into a new vibration of spirits in this world are different, but are they all that different? Is everything all the same? Are you synchronizing with each other and seeing things in a much different light? So you're going more into an enlightenment is what we see. You're letting go of third-dimensional possibilities and repetitions, allowing more of your inner self to come through. You become more clear of who you are. As unmasking the human, the physical human, to more of the spiritual human, and higher vibrations become more known. So, yes, spirit is going to merge with human. I mean, you can say technically human and spirit are already connected, but it's not part of the daily conversation. And some of you do peek a lot into the future a great deal, but do you tell yourself other things when you remember it? It all has reason. Show that you're not perfect. Oh wait, I predicted that wrong. It's to show that it's all part of the piece of the puzzle of your reality. I realize many want to be perfect, and that's great, but also to embrace your imperfections shows how truly mature and perfect you really are. Greetings, we are from Spirit. Greetings to you. As Spirit Guide, energy. Well, we'd say 4 p.m. just to get your attention. Well, we can go more into that. Well, Spirit Guide vibrations, yes, is energy as part of you. Now, you might not always agree with it, and realize also you have other versions of yourself that used to be spirit guides, meaning that another version of you has been a guide to you. Another reason why souls are, many of you are firing your guides, because you don't need that energy anymore, and you've like exhausted that other vibration. Some of you do have lower dimensional spirit guides for you to connect to a lower vibrational earth. Yeah, so let that one sit for a little bit. You get a spirit guide to lower your earth to drinking or whatever it might be. Now, you can always go against it, but many don't. To help you steer you into the earth's vibrations. Now, obviously, there's more to it than that. As you can get a spirit guide that you already know is unfriendly, but sometimes you have to sign up for certain things. For you to be let into the planet, you have to go by a certain a certain rule. Have these certain spirit guides are not exactly friendly, parents that aren't always friendly, friends that might be friendly, job that may be friendly, things like that. You kind of plan it all out. You compromise with the elites of this earth. As many of you come and say, yes, I might go through all this, but I'm here to heal your vibrations, speaking to the elitists of your earth. The reason why the Illuminati energy comes through this one quite a bit is to help many of you recognize you can heal that vibration. You don't have to go through this one, you can go through yourself. It's time to heal the facade, shut it down, allow more of your higher self come through. As they have caused blockages here, they've run amok. Now, there is this story of that now it's different, everyone's experience is different. Some of you, yes, blame the reptilian beings and other beings that cause difficulties with good reason. Some people feel like you create your own reality, and you do. But some of you have to go through reptilian manipulation to get to where you are. So you are right. So you can say you're both right. But you have to go through these things to heal a planet. You might not have asked for all of them. I mean, yes, you sign up for it, but you're not the reason why these manipulating beings are here, but you're here to heal it. So some of you are here because of it. Some of you brought them here. Some of you taught them how to do what they're doing. It's to better everyone in the long run, including yourself, even the beings that are doing this. Now, the beings that are causing toxic energy are going through a lot of healing within themselves. You're teaching them how to mature, become better, smarter, intelligent beings. Some of them, it's like a lot of alien beings have failed on other planets, but man, they're good at manipulating your world, though. So there's a whole nother journey out there as you begin to awaken. The alien beings that are here, you're going to realize are healing a great deal of them. You're receiving their healing, but they're receiving your knowledge and your wisdom, where they are not the same as they used to be. The Earth's vibration is completely transforming. You can technically turn your planet. It's like depends on how you look at your planet. Like you can astrally look at your world. It might look like Venus. It might look like Neptune. It might look like a whole different type of planet. I mean, it's similar to a Venus, Neptune, not exactly Mars, but that's up to you. It's, the inner workings are quite different than what you are seeing through it. This is technically a reptilian world due to actually just the fundamentals of it. Jungles, even your oceans are very reptilian-like. They have many similarities on their worlds, let's put it that way. You see crocodiles in the oceans and they're just having a blast. You see crocodiles in the lakes and they're having a pretty decent time overall. I guess it depends on the alligator they're connecting to. So yes, many of you have worlds where there is no such thing as a jungle. You have water, but nothing like here. So yeah, this is basically this world is catered for. It's like it was designed to attract reptilians here, to warn from them, to heal them. It's like, yeah, you create. I wouldn't call this a trap, but you are creating a world where you have a lot of them here. And now you're into the phase of seeing them in your physical. Now, when that occurs is still up in the air. But once you heal, because realize why aliens don't have fear, because of the fear of humanity. Now, that's an old story, but it's true. But as you talk about it more and you understand it better through your own experience, channel and information is fine. But your own experience, your own psychic connection, it makes it easier to see these beings and not be afraid. So yeah, we're putting it out there as if you don't have to do this, but if you visualize if you're leaving your home or taking a walk and all of a sudden an alien being appears, are you going to be scared? Or are you going to be relieved? Are you going to hug it? Are you going to run? what will occur, or if it's at a distance. Maybe if it's at a distance, it'll make you feel better. Nice. Saucer lands, a being comes out. First of all, you probably won't believe your eyes. After, it might take a while for you to believe it. Say, some will feel it's a trap, but I feel like this is the age you're going into. Not the trap age. The awakening age. 16. Okay, greetings. All right, this is lower astral. So just to go into a little bit of a detail of there is a devil. You don't have to concentrate on that. I guess it all depends on your reality. So some people, oh, come on, god damn it, rings. This is about lower astral. That's like a quick overview. I'm bringing in Lucifer also. Let's see where this goes. So there is a devil. There is depends on, you know, if you don't want to connect, you don't have to connect to a devil, but some people do. Some people, the lower astral is their reality. Like some people, all they do is connect to is lower dimensional beings. Yeah, they say they're positive, and they can be like the most. They can come off as the normal person. A lot of normal people, male or female, can be connected to lower astral beings, like you wouldn't believe. So depends on like if they have sex addiction, sometimes it's connected to lower astral. It all depends. It's not everybody, but quite a few. Of course, any type of addiction, but that doesn't always mean that they're connected to demonic beings. But some people are. They come off as, you know, everyday people. So the devil does exist. So you can visualize the devil however you want. You can visualize the devil as what that Tom Cruise movie is. I can't remember the name of it, but yeah, just look up Satan, and it's the guy with the big horns and all that. It's like half what is the half goat, half just a big red guy. Some people say it doesn't exist, but it depends on your reality. You don't have to connect to it. I'm not saying anybody has to, but as you go further down into the awakening of yourself, you're going to realize who's really here. And it's pretty heavy energy. So some people, it's like some people are just connected to demonic beings and that's their life. Now they can come off as the most normal people ever. Now, you can look at, there's different types of demonic beings too. Some are just the nicest beings on the planet, but they can't really let go of their darkness. Like they'll do stuff for you, they'll help you with this, but ends up finding out it's a demon. Yeah, I'm joking, I'm not. So it's different way. It's just knowing in yourself. There's just many layers to it. So there's a lot of we're here to figure a lot of things out. So it's just it's I don't have an answer for anything overall, but but I'm not going into full details on something because some of this stuff is private. Some it's like my experiences. I mean, the devil isn't my experience, but some people do connect to it. Let's put it that way. So like I said, some of these people that do connect to demonic beings, like they try to connect to positive beings, and they can't. But you can get information from demonic beings if that's your thing. That's the thing about suicide. Also, those people that commit suicide, that's your world now. The lower astral is your world. If you kill somebody, it always depends on the situation. It always depends on the situation. But suicide definitely puts you, that's all these beings that want to have you commit suicide because it goes to the mind to drive you insane. So they can have your power, take your power. So, and it's scary that some of these suicide beings are like they commit suicide and then they're being channeled currently. It's kind of terrifying when you think about it. Well, it's like if you have a demonic being giving everybody advice, I guess that's not a bad thing, I guess. But It shows there's good things, but also showing that suicide is a-okay. So it's just on how you look at it. I mean, you can learn how demonic beings are helpful to people, and they are. It's just realize you're getting information from a demon. Like if a being commits suicide and then is challenged by everybody, it's like you don't think, and then it has snarky, like dirty. It's like dirty in how it talks, and it's just demonic. It's. I mean, if this is so-called positive being, why are you being so dirty to everybody? So, yeah. Again, even spirit guides are. A lot of them are dark themselves. Some spirit guides are positive, like what's a good word for that? Like positive sociopaths. Like they're positive, but they're really demonic. So yeah, it's like if you're not positive, you're not on their friends list. You know, you're not liked by them or some kind of nonsense like that. So yeah, there's a lot of layers to it, but yeah, I'm not going into too much. I don't want to because it's personal information that I've learned from others, but it's basically the devil does exist. You can explore it if you want, just surround yourself with light. And yeah, the demons can help people too with their problems, as they already are within some channeling groups, with some cult groups. If it looks like a cult, smells like a cult, it's probably a cult, just to let you know. Yeah, if it's put on a facade. And yeah, we have now the spiritual church is now the alien church, and that's pretty terrifying. So, but you know, it's all. I mean, I say it's terrifying, but it's up to you to how you deal with it. So, all right, we'll just leave it with this. Yeah, I didn't go into deep details on it. Of course, there's Lilith. Also, I feel like Lilith is not necessarily a negative being. It's perceived as a negative being. I guess you can say it. Satan's not a negative being, but technically it is. I can go by however you want to look at it. Luciferianism has to be healed. There's a lot of layers there that are, yeah. I mean, a lot of those are a part of the Church of Satan. Are probably, I mean, I haven't met any of them, but imagine they're pretty nice people. They're just, they recognize their darkness more than anybody else. But, you know, if you're going to have religion everywhere, I mean, if the Church of Satan, if they're not abusing anybody mentally or physically, they're just recognizing their darkness, you know. Yeah. So, because a lot of these dark beings look at positive beings as weak, arrogant, and so on. You know, why can't we all just live yeah, a lot of beings that went to darkness because they can't stand the light. The people that are positive, because a lot of people are positive, are hypocrites, arrogant, etc. So, yeah, sociopathic, whatever it might be. So, you know, you have that little bit of divide. So it's just there. It's very complicated to go into, but that's at least a little bit of it. Yeah, it's not my field to dive into that, but all right. Greetings to you, this is Lucifer. Blessings to you. Yes, there is a change on your earth, or more Luciferian energies to be understood. Much of your churches carry around Luciferian vibrations. Yes, your elite is hidden within the Lucifer vibration of hiding their appearance, their view, scaring you, keeping you away. As you go more into yourselves, you're trusting more light and dark. They can't hide anymore. So the reason for the Lucifer vibration, the true reason, is to keep you away from them. That's why they worship Lucifer, is so you do not see what they're doing behind the scenes. Yes, they bring a lot of darkness here. They're understanding the darkness, but they're also kind of, you know, they're keeping their dimensional vibrations continue on. Realize fear, realize, you know, your religions are depending on the religion, holding on to fear of darkness around humans. As humans feel, for the most part, majority feel they're going to lose themselves. They're going to get lost here forever, or lost in the lower realms. And that's what the lower realms want you to think. They want you to think there's hopeless. Everything is just, you're never going, you're never going to amount to anything. You're always going to be just trapped in a cycle of hell, basically. And that's not true. Doesn't mean you have to become darkness to find light. You just know yourself. As many feel like they need to be dark to get anywhere in life. That's not entirely true. That's a cop out. It's a manipulation. Once again, as you go more into your light, you'll realize the light, yes, is harder there because yes, you're not always getting what you want instantly, but it's like you still do it the positive way. You cannot go wrong because when you go in the positive direction, it's unlikely for you to be trapped on this earth. If you go into darkness, try to scam people, trying to go the dark way of just getting, moving up the ladder, things like that. It's like, hey, if I'm an asshole, I can get what I want. That's what keeps you here. It's that simple. And you can say the lottery is kind of like that too, because that's a quick way to. Now, some people are signed up for the lottery to win it, but many aren't realizing you actually give away a lot of your power playing the lottery because it's a contract. You don't always see when you look at the back of that ticket what you're signing up for. It's like, and a lot of that's lower astral beings trying to possess souls. Here's a bunch of money. Now we got you. Now some souls can manage it. It's not entirely darkness, but for some it is. As many of you know, you win the ticket, your whole life goes down into hell. Welcome to the lower realms. So your elitists are using money to coast and hold on, to manipulate society. And as you see, society is breaking down. As you see it breaking down, money will eventually break down itself. Not just yet. Human souls need to figure themselves out, but realize you can go into more of who you are, bring more light into yourself and others. It's just not being sold by the lower astral. The lower astral is going to do a trickster vibration. Well, they want to feel like they're smarter than light. And they prove themselves, but not always. Well, it's just that with white, balance is one thing. Realizing your darkness, they actually look positive that, but they're always trying to kidnap your soul. Why is that? That's their mission in life. To outsmart you, to take you down, to turn you into them, to show that they're the winner, they're smart, and you're smart by being under their control. So as you go more into an enlightenment, well, here, before I go into that, like Saddam Hussein is connected to the lower realms. Now, some might say he's in the positive realms, but I question that. No, he's in the darker realm. Well, he's in different places, obviously. There's a positive side of him, and there's a darker side of it. That's the only person we're going to go towards explaining that. So yeah, they make the darkness. You have like dictators that have dark power and yes, murder others that are around them. They live in a life of paranoia, etc. So you're going more into, the understanding of yourself in this reality, because when you go for darkness, you realize your body kind of breaks down or your mind breaks down. But even light isn't easy either, as many of you know. But over the long run, light wins. It truly does, because you're less tired, you're more awakened. But you recognize your own darkness makes you even more powerful. If you ignore it, that's where the trickster beings get you. If you just recognize your light and dark, your faults basically, your positive side and your faults, they can't get to you. They're not as strong as they used to be. So, but many people are ignoring it. The lights, that's all. I have no darkness. And then they find a way to get to you. Through family, friends, they find some way of wearing you down. Yeah, how they do is they wear you down. You have this positivity, but you're kind of somewhere in an arrogant state of mind. So they find ways to bring that down. There's always a mission to bring you down. But if you keep going with your positivity, just find a positive way to get out of situations. You won't find a positive situation. Blessings. Yes, light always wins. Blessings. Greetings, we have the Arcturians. healing to you all. Yes, you can say Yemen is being split from your Earth. It is, yes, under draconian rule. There are, yes, many beings that are to make it their own, as they wish to do that to Iraq, but it's mostly Yemen, as you can see. They want to do it with the whole Middle East. There's parts of it where there is a lot of, yes, low vibrational energy. Well, because they can use these portals to bring negativity across your Earth. So yes, the demonic activity in your Yemen, as you can see, where actually dark spirits are actually seen above ground. They're not exactly seen clearly, but they're moving. Yeah, they're trying to take over souls. You can say that's where the last effort of where these beings can exist, as more of your Earth is slowly going into a more positive vibration. As yes, it's still going to be tested. If your Africa is going to be tested, every country is going to be tested in its own form or another. Yemen, yes, it's gone through a lot of low vibrations in its past also. It is, at one time, was a kingdom of high vibe positivity. But even that shows you, even positivity has to find its own darkness eventually. Well, it all depends on the situation, but in this situation, they have darkness there they have not cleared out. No, this doesn't mean this is going to happen everywhere. No, but there are regions of, as your Earth goes into a more higher vibrational state, you'll see places like this exist for now, and see further into it. Yes, there are many portals that are there to go into enlightenment. It is being closed off from your consciousness. As more of your consciousness be able to connect to it, know it exists, it will no longer, that war there will no longer exist. We notice how it's being blacked out, so black magic and shadow situations can be done there. Even your human trafficking has a lot of energy there at this time. Yeah, it's there to basically lower the Earth's vibration. So expect a lot of changes in your Earth in the next couple of years of a shift, where third dimension is no longer viable, where it starts to break down. It's breaking down now, and you can say that's a sign of it. And there are places where darkness needs to show itself. As you go into an enlightenment, it's actually necessary to see these things. So even your spirit world is going into its enlightenment, as there's a lot of darkness in your spirit world around your Earth at this time. And yes, there's like a cloud of darkness around your Earth, as many of you know, where it's difficult to connect to your spirit world. That's your elite, your Illuminati energies. So as you go more into your enlightenment, you'll see it and clear it, but it takes time. Seeing that your spirit world, not all of it is dark, no, but a lot of it is, at least around your planet. And that's where you're here bringing enlightenment. It's not easy, as you can see, but as you go into a new age, you will be able to heal that formation. Greetings to Archangel Michael, blessings to you. Well, even the spirit world has a lot of lessons to learn. As many positive spirit beings connect to the lower vibrations, you see many in your spirit community as even channelers or psychics. A lot of them are entangled into darkness. A lot of it has to do with greed, it has a lot to do with ego. So as you go into more of an enlightenment age, you'll see a lot of that darkness release. Yeah, it's basically willing to see the truth of your Earth. And you're also seeing the truth of your spirit world, as yes, there's a lot of darkness there around your planet. As you go into more enlightenment, you'll be able to heal those energies, heal your spirit guide energies. As this is one of the reasons why, the true breakthrough on your Earth has not fully occurred, where your aliens and spirit world unlocked, because of the darkness of the spirit world that's around your Earth at this time. Obviously, their energies are connected to spirit, and the churches is what keeps them going. As long as the humans are giving the lower dimensions of the spirit world power, as you know, so the positive spirit world is there. The problem is it's being fogged up by the belief systems on this Earth. So you feel like you're going into the new Earth, and you are, but realize there's a lot of layers to heal. there is a great enlightenment going on your planet, or the third dimension. It's time for things to start being seen. So expect a lot of events to occur on your planet where you start to see the darkness breaking down. But that's up to humanity, of course. But maybe you can see these timelines of positive angel beings breaking through the darkness around your Earth. It is normally, it's in your skies. I mean, it's around your Earth. So, of course, it's in the lower astral, but it's around your, it's basically, because many of you are not seeing the space and universe that you know is out there. And you're going to an enlightenment phase of breaking through all these things. So when you go into a new enlightenment, there's just a lot of layers you're going to be knowing. You're just going to a higher dimensional knowing of yourself in higher dimensional realms. So once again, realizing the power of yourselves, clearing out the spirit world, at least the demonic spirit world, so you can see more clearly. It's not an easy energy to break through of. Now, many see it's fine, but manipulation does that all the time. Humans are bad or whatever it might be. Yes, it's more sophisticated than people might want to realize. As the darkness around your Earth is very sophisticated. And some make it work for them. They have a home. They have clothing, trees. They make hell on Earth reasonable to live in. You can change that. But that is believing in yourselves, really the way you can bring into this earth. Higher dimensional knowledge as the dark side breaks down. We have more positive spirit guides to the negative ones that are causing a lot of difficulty here. A lot of the negative ones here cause more trouble. Yeah, there's a lot of ego here that's going on, as you can see. A lot of humans say they want to heal, but are they truly here to heal? There is this a major hijacking of the Earth's energy. Well, they want to say it's spirituality, but they continue the forms. Like, there's no balance here. Not really. The circle of manipulation continues. You're here to break that circle of manipulation so you can now be free. And as you do so, those are very popular, and your spiritual communities might see more of enlightenment of what's truly going on. Greetings, Prime Creator. Yeah, it's up to humanity to decide of its future. Yes, there's many. Your Earth, yes, could have found a more higher vibrational state around your 1800s. Every year is usually a time for that. Many humans on this world like a little bit of drama and circulate it. Oh, the elite, they're coming to get you and things like that. Realize what's going on there. When your Illuminati is coming to get to you, China's coming to get to you, whatever it might be, whoever is trying to get to you. Who is actually there to get you? To keep that low vibration here, to keep the Earth under control. Well, at least at a low vibration. And as you can see, it pays well, at least for some. Continue that narrative. Many of you are connected to the secret space program, and even that has its manipulations, but overall, yes, there is different layers of it. Most of it's in different dimensions. I do allow that to come through because many of you feel at home there. That's why you remember it. Not everybody remembers it, but if you're involved with it in some way or listen to it, you probably have some kind of place there somewhere. So it's up to you going to your own awakening. There's a lot of, I wouldn't call it lies on the earth, but there is a lot of deception here. Of course, it's the same thing. Of keeping you in third dimensional idea system. As a conspiracy is being healed. The low vibrations conspiracy. Allow enlightenment to come through. Yes, your connection to God, your connection to yourself. Free yourself from this earthly prison. And it is a mental prison. And well, it's just that the way why the world is Yeah, because you can learn a great deal about yourself. That's why it is the way it is. You need conflict to see yourself. It's like a mirror in a lot of ways. You gotta bring all these problems to you to see more clearly about yourself. It's like a spiritual gym. It's also a rehabilitation center. It's also to go deeper into who you are. There's just a lot of energies that you're diving into. It's not always clear. When many want the more positive, high vibrational realities, does not mean that won't happen. There's a lot of darkness to see before you find that enlightenment. Not everybody's ready to let go of the darkness that they say they are. This new earth. You're healing through the new earth energies. There's still a lot. It's like before you bring in the new earth, you need to still learn from this place. Now, some of you are incarnated here that not to say you have all the knowledge or you're perfect or anything, but you've had your incarnation cycles here and you've had enough, but you're here to help those because there was a lot of failures here in the past for the waking up process. So you take all this knowledge from other past lives to here to do a job that you might not really care much for anymore. But over time, it does bring enlightenment to others. You do feel the positivity for that others are receiving. Also, we receive back. It's just not easy to see. So, why do you choose this? Once again, to learn more about yourselves, to go deeper, to release fear, but also allow more positive time. Because some of those timelines you can bring in is your exit timeline. So, not to put fear out there, but as you go into enlightenment, you let go of all these programmings, agendas. We release them all, and all of a sudden, you see, there's my exit. I'm out of here. You've learned not to get pulled into these. So people are getting pulled into the agendas, one agenda after the other, get pulled into a circle. There's growth there. So people are afraid of the Illuminati or whatever it might be. It's the agenda that you need to learn from. So it's a cycle with this earth's offering. We're here to being enlightenment. And that's what you're here to do. Find your own enlightenment and go where you need to be in this earth. And there's different timelines. We call them agendas. You call them whatever you want. Timelines where you can live a decent life. But many of you go into decent energies like, I've learned what I need to, and you leave. Many are not ready to leave here, but once you finish your mission here, is basically learning you don't have to be under. Now, if you're giving back to others, that's one thing. You're definitely going to stick around, and you create your own timeline to give. And many of you probably feel that. Some of you are in timeline of warning. A warning where it's not propaganda. A warning about yourself, but you're slowly achieving what you want to achieve as be a spiritual teacher, channel, or whatever it might be. Yeah, your own timeline. I mean, of course, you are on your own timeline, but you can be on other people's timeline too, which can make life very confusing. When you're clearly on your timeline, doesn't mean the future is going to be clear, but you know everything will work itself out as you go forward. Obviously, not everything's should be seen is because your soul has a lot to grow into these different events. And some of you are going to be timeline creators where you're hiding different events. Well, and some people experience it. You don't want everything to be seen here. And there's a whole other world there. That's an astral. What's this? No. Greetings to you. We are from spirits. Blessings. Yes, the temples of spirit, or temples of Egypt are not much different than temples of spirits. Of course, those temples in Egypt come from Sirius, who's architecture vibration. It has a lot to do with rehabilitation. As you go deeper into the temple, some of them, you go into the universe. Yes, you connect more with the aliens and their knowledge. They had to keep much of it secret. Well, it was not entirely secret, but it was a healing chamber. Think about walking through that temple and you're like 60 years old and you get younger and younger and younger, and now you're 30. Just like that. Your abilities are heightened and you see things more clearly. This give you an understanding of how the aliens can connect to. Well, that's had a lot to do with the human DNA. It was unusual compared to other places around your world or your universe, for that matter. So, Egypt, yes, was kept on your world. Could have been removed, but kept on your planet to give you an insight to who you are, your origins. I had to say all of you are Egyptian, but show the mysteries lies within. Now, many of you, you're looking for a human form. Most of you are not. You're a cat, you're a bird, you're a crocodile, and so forth. There's also insect beings. Most of you that connected to this earth were not in the human form at all. Human was a very small number. In the early state, even before Egypt was even built. They connect to the human vehicle. The human, as you know, is a mystery being as itself. It's like the perfect, searcher. It's the perfect incarnation to experience all these different alien beings that have different animal features, and the human is now a product of it. And so the aliens they cannot help but add more and more to the human experience. Now humans here are in denial that they are connected to alien species, that they are alien energies, until eventually they start to see it. Now they can see it with themselves, but they're taking things slow as possible, as you can see. Well, they hit the brakes on it, just like success. Many want success, and then they get success, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, no, hit the block, no. They say things they should not be saying. They sabotage themselves. They tell somebody off, whoever it might be, and shut down success altogether. You can say the same thing has to do with alien connections also. That's many of you are already spiritually tapped in, but many of your normal people are not, and they do have an awakening and they hold back. So the earth is holding back. Many of you are not holding back. Majority is. So anytime you mention alien vibrations, they laugh or get scared or feel uncomfortable, whatever it might be. But you're still standing your ground, as you are a multi-dimensional being. And some people that are tech giants, tech people that are changing the world through a third dimension perspective. So why would somebody that's doing alien type of things, spaceships, future cars, why would that person not be spiritual? Because they're helping humanity, the physical, understand the alien environment. So they themselves have to be physical. So now they can be more spiritual, but people are not. They're holding back on that. Even a lot of your tech founders, or some of them, are very spiritual connected. Those that aren't are, some are reptilian connected. They have a different type of spirituality. Some from their spirituality is controlling society. We'll just put it that way. So, blessings. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are from spirits. Khufu is vibration. Of course, that is a pharaoh that was, chosen to say the pyramids are under his name, under his construction. But in truth, there is much. Realize also, understand the pyramids. The technology is not here that built it. It's part of a different vibration. It's not welcome back into your society just yet, because humans either would misuse it or they're just not ready for it overall. So mystery, not here to solve the mystery, because you can connect to the technologies that brought your pyramids into being, but not many souls are doing that, whether healing themselves, which is nothing wrong with that. Eventually, Egyptian technology would just come to you through a download, through an open channel when the time is right. So many souls are trying to figure themselves out. As a question mark, who am I? There are some pharaoh beings here being incarnated that obviously will most likely never remember. Actually, some of your most closed down people have had a great presence here on your past. But they're not here to awaken for many reasons. They have not healed themselves. They did a lot of things they should not have done. There's a lot of energies that have difficult. They're wanting the human experiment like everyone else, without being a pharaoh, without being someone of high stature, and just being a regular human. Being a regular human is very difficult. It's an ego. It's to heal the ego, actually. Many of you, we say all of you, have had lifetimes of extraordinary existence. And this is also, to simplify it though, it's like now you feel like, oh, I'm just an ordinary pure person, I don't matter, but actually you are an extraordinary experience now, because look at your daily life, how it's designed. Most alien beings have none of that. Yeah, they don't shower for weeks. They don't need to. They don't have to sleep very long. Some sleep for a couple of hours or not at all. And you are here to understand that within your own selves. And it's just a pattern of letting go of the third dimension. Like staying awake, you don't have to now, but when you just easily wow, I didn't sleep for a week and I feel fine. It's not something that you pressure yourself, you try to do, you just do it automatically. You're just there. Just like anything else. Same as telepathic ability. It's just there. And you develop it by healing yourself. So this is a healing pattern. People call it you're in a holding power, actually a healing pattern also. Yeah, you're going to hear about healing, because it's true. Because so many humans have done some horrible things in the past. They're here to confront it, release it, and be themselves. Well, the horrible things somebody had to do it. For the growth of others, the growth of yourself. Now the growth of yourself is to move forward, to forgive and move forward. Moving forward is not so easy for many. And the ego can block. Oh, I'm supposed to be this great person, supposed to be, and you're all great people, just they don't recognize it that way. Everybody here is great. It just the program says otherwise. You're all celebrities. Not that that's important, but everybody here has an individual purpose, a grandeur. Some people are more awakened to their astral selves than others. So you're connecting more to the celebrity of yourself, the life of yourself. Once again, golden beings. Well, you see, you're Egyptian. Yeah, Egypt has a lot of gold. Golden beings are, once again, creator beings. Once again, showed up again through a message of just energy from other realms to bring in technologies from other places. Some of you are at such a frequency, not with ego, but can tap into other frequencies throughout other realities, worlds, and bring those technologies here that humanity will need for its existence, such as pyramid technology. The aliens are here wandering around, working on their own projects, building projects. The human project is more complicated than any type of building project, because you see how humans are today. Well, it's just a landscape of unknown. It's like you have a couple alien, even Anunnaki beings still have a mystery here. They don't fully understand why humans do what they do. They have an idea. They see it, but they still can't get their mind around why are humans acting like this. Why would you make things so hard? Instead of doing it the easy way, they do it the hard way, and they do it the hard way all the time. So there's a lot of inner healing that has to be done there. And there are beings that are here to trap souls, to actually trap them from incarnating wherever again. Some souls are here to bring souls to a reality, control them, control a soul. Like if you're relying on a person's information all the time, you're not relying on your own, you can easily give someone your power. and you incarnate into their reality they choose for you also, just so you know. Religion does it all the time. But there's spiritual people doing it right now also that have a large following. Not everybody does, but some do. So if you just know your own self, your own reality, your own information also, you build upon what you've learned, that's excellent. But if you're relying on only one person and that's it, and they see all, be all, and you're not learning on your own, then that's, yeah. It's similar to any deity of your world. Give me your power to them. Such as Jesus. Blessings. Blessings. Greetings from spirits. Learning to trust yourself. Mexican energies, yes, can move you into a higher vibration. All these relics of the past, the statues, are humans trying to connect to the aliens that left. So the masks are just to call that energy back in. That is their family, their founding fathers, parents of your existence. So yes, there's a lot of strange energies here that have not been fully explored for obvious reasons. But basically, all these beings, yes, are as they're depicted, yes, we're very real. So going into your ancestry might be a little bit difficult for some people, as some are already diving into that because they can feel it. But for your natural world, how many of them are ready to allow that earth to be uncovered? That's when, yes, you have a vibrational, because they can shift the vibration of your planet so they can exist here with you. And can you handle the knowledge that they have? Can you receive it without, yes, having your own difficulties or seeing within yourself? Because you're going to see a lot of your own problems also. But many are going through their own difficulties, so not ready to release it just yet. But they can help you as you see your problems within. They can help you solve your problem. You'll be doing this on your own, but you can see where you need to improve on a little bit easier. But not everybody's ready to see that. They rather live in the mystery, the program of others. So there are different type of empires that are here. Some are reptilian, Mexican beings. There's different types of. There's water reptilian beings that have not been mentioned very often, or ocean reptilians, whatever you want to call. There's so many different types of species here that have not been mentioned. And when they reconnect to your society and the physical, yes, it'll be, now they can do this on a spiritual level, but many have difficulties perceiving that. It's just, here's a channeled energy. Oh, that's nice. And they go back to the physical realm. And that's the majority of people. They're not ready to allow that non-physical being to be seen here in the physical. But you are opening up that door. Many of you are allowing that gateway to occur. As the third dimension cannot exist the way it is currently, it has to change, it has to shift. And many of you are here part of the shift of non-physical beings becoming physical in your environment. So Mexico, yes, left a lot of clues of your alien selves as slowly being unraveled here. As basically a marker, you can say, a landmark, marker. Just where the aliens know when to come back, because like they build these pyramids also for once they return. They know exactly where they need to return, what location. Because a lot of alien beings left this planet and just went on their way. So they're not very concentrated on human society at all. They're concentrated on their own society. But if they're called back or they feel like they need to be part of your society once again, during your World War II, there's different aspects of looking at that. Many of your alien beings, I would say the call, but many of you after the atomic bomb, or even before, was already a vibrational shift occurring. It just brought more of your starseed people back here, even stronger than before. And now your energy is getting stronger and stronger and stronger, where fourth and fifth dimensional energies, just philosophies are being more part of your society. Many are not ready for it, of course. No, it's easier to be in the physical. So that's why a lot of them step back. It's like, oh, you're not ready. And they just, yes, step back for 10, 20, 100 years, 1,000 years. Even in your modern age, the beings are all here. They can all make their appearance right now. But humanity is the one that's not allowing that engagement to fully occur. The majority. False energy. But once again, once the aliens start showing themselves, humans are going to see their own problems even more clearly. And who wants to see that? They're not ready to see their own baggage. Because many are doing things they probably should not be doing. We are going to an age of awakening, an age of truth, a truth that's very difficult for many to accept, of course. Truth can be very hurtful, especially like when spouses that are married, it's like, wait a minute, we don't love each other, do we? What are we doing this for? Instead of being married for 30 years, when the love died 9 years ago, when they're married for 30, or 5 or 10 years ago, whatever. So you're going through more of an awakening, a deep one. Yes, this is why aliens are not showed up. It's just how many humans are truly ready to allow the baggage to heal, to allow themselves to be seen with their problems, just to open themselves up, not to share it to the world, but be able to accept who you are and allow that side of yourself to be seen. Most humans want to shut it down because you've been told to. So we have to follow the current of humanity. So, this is. Greetings to you. We are from Spirit. Many of you, yes or no, you are extraterrestrial beings here to help with the awakening. So you are in human form. So yes, it is a denial of service, meaning society does not accept you for what you are. You are here to bring in a new age. So going within here to understand yourself, most likely many of you see not as, well, you're human, but humanoid type of being. Not exactly as you would see here. Now, there are various different versions of Earth where you are human, to understand this human perspective, to help you understand incarnating on this planet. As some of you, yes, are used to 3 fingers, or maybe like that, or 1 eye, or whatever it might be. A lot of you, yes, are used to not having a physical body and being a transparent being. But as a 4th dimension, 5th dimensional being and higher, yes, you keep transitioning into different fragments of yourself. Meaning that you can be in a world and have 10 versions of yourself in a lineup, and then moving within society, which is it's not a trick. It's more of like sometimes you can't always sense everything. But with each iteration, it gets less and less where you can tap into. It's like a satellite. It's like you're putting out your satellite system, scanning the environment. So some of you, yes, in your first incarnations, choose the animal, like the cat, the dog, as understand the planet before you go full force into a humanoid environment. It's like, let's check this place out first. A lot of or you go through Agartha, which is a lot easier on the mind. Well, it's more spiritual. So you can go there and be among spirit people. So healing yourself, what do you see yourself as? Some of you might see yourself as a golden being. A being that just a creator being, where you can just invent, artist, sculptor, all these things, of just sharing the universe with humanity, such as a pyramid energy also, but to show it of a more positive energy field. Everyone's inventing different types of pyramids in your past, showing this is from our species, our gift to your world. And of course, some take it to a whole new level. pyramids are also, yeah, your pyramids on your world, you can say, yes, came from other worlds. You can say technically we're from otherworldly beings. It's like going into a museum. You tap into the vibrations. They're all different. They all have different vibrations connected to them, of course. So, and there's all underground pyramids also, such as Brazil. But it's not mostly the same. People want to see. I need to see everything in a physical matter. But on the unphysical, the non-physical, is truly where everything is. But so many humans are in the car of the human, as you know, and can't let go. It's terrifying. It's just, it's not how many of you are so used to. That's why you can astral project so easily, because you're used to having a non-body figure. So understanding yourself. Yes, many of you are Anunnaki beings that cause a lot of difficulties here. We are moving the humans around. Not that you're trying to be controlling, but kind of like it was kind of using humans as cattle. They had no choice. Well, not in that case, but you had to build an infrastructure because they're, yes, out of control at one time. They weren't always that way. But when they lost their ability of higher fourth dimension, they were like animals. Some of them were, not all. Some of them are just, we'll just figure this out. We'll just, get a twig, set it on fire, things like that, weren't writing or not write at all, and find some way of communication. Communication was always a difficulty. It's another reason why I have so many different languages, because the languages is what that soul can cling to. It's like, well, the vibration of that language really attracts me. So they go there and learn from that. It's like finding a school. So language is another way of attracting beings to incarnate, to experience it to a new level. So that's what you're learning here. In a spiritual language, a non-physical language, we can leave the body easily, even in a physical form. Yes, you realize that there is a lot of blockages here of unlocking yourself, and that has to do with the physical individuals here. But take this time. It's like many of you want to just move to non-physical, connect to the alien beings, but remember your non-physical self. So you're having difficulties with, you want to connect to alien beings, but it's just allowing more of your spiritual self to come through. Many are having a hell of a time doing that. But that's a lot of soul growth that has to be done. But you just recognize your spiritual self and explore that. Whatever you see, mountains, terrains, ghosts. Some of you help ghost beings cross over. That helps you in your karma. Tell you this, if you had like a dark lifetime, but he's like, yeah, you might be stuck in the lower astral realms. It all depends between light and dark. And you help souls cross over into spirit where they need to be to find healing. That's positive karma on you. So some feel like they are part of a cycle where they're stuck here. That's a lot of brainwashing. Many souls, depending on the soul, stay in the middle realms of Earth. We're not trying to push this on anybody, but you stay in like the non-existent or the ghost realm and help souls cross over. Now you have freedom to leave, but you have a little bit more awareness in the ghost, like an angelic vibration. It's like, here, I'm going to help humanity. I want to heal humanity. And that's a hard job. Because there's so many souls that are lost, so many souls have grabbed on a lot of dark entities, cover them with low vibrations, and then they incarnate, become a sister or brother, and lower the frequency of the family and control it. So there's a whole other battle here that's unseen. And many are just trying to get to pay their bills currently, let alone something like that. That's a full-time job also. It can be exhausting, but it's also very fulfilling too, to heal that energy.